Hello! Today I will talk about U.S. natural gas market, its main demand and supply drivers. Due to the physical nature of natural gas, U.S. market is almost entirely influenced by the domestic forces. Similar to my other presentations, this is just a short overview of its basics. Let's begin. Natural gas is a fossil fuel that occurs deep beneath the Earth's surface and consists mainly of methane and small amounts of hydrocarbon liquids and non-hydrocarbon gases. Natural gas is obtained in three different ways. First, a conventional method, where natural gas is found in subsurface rock formations and is extracted through a well drilled into that formation. Second, an unconventional method, where natural gas is found in low permeability formations like small shale and sandstone, and hydraulic fracturing is used to extract it. Lastly, an associated natural gas is the gas that's found when people are drilling for crude oil. Natural gas withdrawn from natural gas or crude oil wells is called wet natural gas because along with methane, it usually contains natural gas liquids such as ethane, propane, butanes, pentane, and water vapor. Once removed from an underground reservoir, the natural gas is usually transferred to a gas processing plant to remove impurities and byproducts. Some of these byproducts, including ethane, propane, butane, are extracted for other uses. Processed natural gas is called dry, consumer-grade, or pipeline-quality natural gas. After being processed, the clean natural gas, almost pure methane, is transported through a network of pipelines and delivered to its point of use, including our homes. Natural gas production has been growing worldwide and in the United States. During the period 1980 to 2021, natural gas production grew at an average rate of 2.5% per year in the world and at 1.5% per year in the US. In 2022, U.S. dry production of natural gas was about 36,353 billion cubic feet, about 92% of its total supply. U.S. imported 8% of its total natural gas supply in 2022 from Canada and Mexico. Its pipeline imports from Canada account for 99% of its all imported natural gas. On the following slides, we will take a closer look at the major world producers, consumers, exporters, and importers of natural gas during the period 2018 to 2021. The top producers and consumers of natural gas in the world are US, Russia, Iran, China, and Canada. US and Russia produce 41% of total world's natural gas and consumed 31% of it in 2021. US, Russia, Qatar, Norway, and Australia accounted for 61% of total world's natural gas exports in 2021. China is the largest importer of natural gas, followed by Japan and Germany. I continue by discussing US natural gas market. Texas, Pennsylvania, and Louisiana produce 57% of all natural gas in the United States in 2022. Natural gas is primarily used for generating electricity, manufacturing products, and heating. 5 sectors that use natural gas are electric, industrial, residential, commercial, and transportation. The largest sector is electric, which comprises regulated utilities and non-regulated power producers who use natural gas to generate electricity. The next largest sector is industrial, which includes manufacturing facilities that use natural gas as a feedstock and generate electricity, plus mining or other mineral extraction companies, and consumers in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and construction. The third largest sector is residential customers that use natural gas to heat homes, water, and cook food. Commercial sector includes non-manufacturing facilities such as hotels, restaurants, grocery stores, and others alike that use natural gas to heat the buildings and generate electricity. The smallest consumer of natural gas is transportation. About 96% of transportation sector natural gas consumption is used to power compressors that move natural gas through transmission and distribution pipelines. The remainder is used to power vehicles as compressed and liquefied natural gas. Henry Hub spot price is the U.S. natural gas benchmark price. Henry Hub is located in Rough, Louisiana, and is a place where multiple pipes interconnect. Graph on the left shows monthly Henry Hub spot prices. In the U.S., natural gas is priced in dollars per MMBTU, or million British thermal units. During the period 1997 to 2023, monthly natural gas price averaged $4.19. Prices were higher before 2008, with extreme price spikes reaching $13. 2009 is associated with the beginning of a shale production or fracking boom that allowed the United States to produce more gas and oil from the unconventional sources. More on this later. Between 1997 and 2008, the monthly natural gas price averaged $5.11. Between 2009 and 2023, it averaged at $3.46. Local natural gas prices are quoted as Henry Hub plus or minus a differential, or basis. There are 32 natural gas trading hubs, including Henry Hub in the United States. The basis accounts for regional market supply and demand factors, for example, weather and storage inventories, and transportation costs between Henry Hub and the local delivery point. Look at the graph on the right. It shows daily spot natural gas prices in 2017 for two trading hubs, Henry Hub and SoCal Citygate. On average, daily basis for SoCal Citygate was 52 cents. When trying to estimate how the prices of natural gas will behave, one needs to analyze the factors that affect its demand and supply. The components of natural gas supply are production, imports, both pipeline and liquefied natural gas, and net storage withdrawals, which are injections minus withdrawals. Demand for natural gas comes from electric power, industrial, residential, commercial, and transportation sectors, plus exports, both pipeline and liquefied natural gas. Table summarizes the main demand and supply drivers that impact natural gas prices. On the demand side, we have weather that affects heating demand, economic growth that affects industrial and commercial sectors' natural gas consumption, exports demand, and prices of substitutes. On the supply side, we have natural gas inventories, technological advances like horizontal drilling, and adverse weather events that damage infrastructure and reduce production. Two most significant factors to remember that affect natural gas prices are weather and inventories. Natural gas consumption grew on average 3% per year between 1949 and 2022. It increased from about 5,000 billion cubic feet in 1949 to more than 32,000 billion cubic feet in 2022. Rising electricity and heating needs due to population and economic growth have been the main factors behind this increase. The first factor I will discuss on the demand side is the temperature fluctuations that affect heating demand for natural gas, especially in colder months. Chart on the right illustrates an inverse relationship between residential natural gas consumption and temperature. Starting in January, the weather is cold and natural gas consumption is high because of heating. As spring comes in and temperature increases, the gas consumption decreases and reaches its lowest level in the summer months. Then, as fall comes along, the temperatures drop and heating demand increases again. Utilities that provide natural gas to the residential and commercial consumers know this relationship and plan accordingly to make sure they have enough natural gas supplies. What leads to price spikes is the unexpected fluctuations in the weather relative to the historical weather patterns. If the winter is warmer than expected, the gas consumption will be lower. If the winter is colder than expected, the opposite would occur. Let's consider two winters and how residential demand and subsequently prices of natural gas behaved in each case. The chart on the left shows monthly temperature anomaly and residential natural gas consumption for the period 2010 to 2019. The chart on the right shows monthly temperature anomaly and Henry Hub spot prices for the same period. Temperature anomaly is defined as the temperature deviation from normal, which in this case is an average for the period 1980 to 2020. We can see that winter in 2012 was much warmer than average, and as a result consumption by the residential sector decreased, which led to a decrease in prices. Then, in 2014, winter was colder than average, which led to an increased heating demand for gas and higher natural gas prices. The next demand factor I will discuss is economic growth. When the economy is booming, businesses are opening up and demand for natural gas to be used as a source of electricity in manufacturing, heating, and for cooking increases. When there is an economic slowdown, businesses close and demand for natural gas goes down. Take a look at the industrial use of natural gas during the period 2001 to 2023. During recession from January 2008 to June 2009, industrial monthly usage declined from 660 billion cubic feet to 459 billion cubic feet, or 30%. Henry Hub natural gas price declined from a monthly average of $7.99 in January 2008 to $3.80 in June 2009, more than half of a decrease. Economic recession reduced industrial and manufacturing activity, which in turn lowered demand for natural gas as a feedstock and a power generation fuel. As a result, natural gas prices fell. Moving on to exports. Increase in export demand can increase natural gas prices. Natural gas can be exported as gas via pipelines or as liquefied natural gas on ships. Given the nature of natural gas, U.S. pipeline exports are limited to Canada and Mexico. Liquefied natural gas is natural gas that has been cooled to a liquid state at about -260 degrees Fahrenheit. The volume of natural gas in its liquid state is about 600 times smaller than its volume in its gas state. LNG makes it possible to transport natural gas to places pipelines do not reach. The chart shows that LNG exports surged after the startup of Sabine Pass LNG export terminal in Louisiana in 2016. In 2021, U.S. exported more LNG than pipeline natural gas, although both types of exports continued to increase. U.S. exported most LNG to France, UK, Spain, and Netherlands in 2022 as a result of natural gas supply issues due to Russia-Ukraine war and higher prices at Europe's natural gas trading hubs relative to other LNG markets. The pie chart on the left shows major buyers of U.S. natural gas exports in 2022. In 2022, Mexico was the largest buyer of U.S. natural gas exports, primarily via pipeline, followed by Canada and France. Political relationships affect who is buying U.S. liquefied natural gas. Take a look at the bar graph on the right. In 2021, U.S. sold most LNG to Brazil, China, Japan, and South Korea. 44% of all U.S. LNG exports went to these four countries. In 2022, 48% of all U.S. LNG exports went to France, UK, Spain, and Netherlands. This increase in LNG imports is due to EU's and UK's attempts to reduce reliance on Russian natural gas imports as a result of Russia initiating a war in Ukraine in 2022. In 2022, China significantly reduced purchases of LNG from US, Instead, it increased its pipeline gas imports from Russia. The last demand factor I will talk about is the price substitutes. Price substitution in the energy products is limited due to high upfront costs to build infrastructure and time it takes to build and start running it. For example, an electric utility cannot close a coal power plant and build a new power plant that runs on natural gas in a month, or even a year. These types of transitions take a decade and longer to do. However, substitution is easier in transportation. Replacing your diesel or gasoline vehicle with a compressed natural gas one will require an initial investment of purchasing a vehicle. However, it may be worth it in the long run as long as the total cost of buying a CNG vehicle and using it will be lower than the cost of a diesel or gasoline car. The switch has become a reality due to much lower prices of natural gas in recent years. Let's take a look at the graph of CNG versus gasoline and diesel fuel prices. During the last 20 years, CNG price has been below gasoline and diesel prices in most years. Also, CNG price is less volatile than the price of diesel and gasoline, which are made from crude oil and thus are impacted by the fluctuations in the oil markets. During the period 2010 to 2014, the price of CNG was lower than diesel, on average by $1.28 per gallon equivalent. Prices converged in 2015 and 2016 because of increased supplies of oil due to booming U.S. shale oil production. CNG again became much cheaper than diesel and gasoline in 2018 and 2019, before COVID-19 pandemic led to a steep decline in global oil demand, leading to a sharp decline in oil prices. Since the pandemic, oil prices recovered, and CNG is again a cost-effective substitute for gasoline and diesel. During the period 2021 to 2023, it has been $1 less per gallon equivalent. In addition, federal, state, and local governments provide grants, tax exemptions, and other subsidies to incentivize cities, companies, schools, and individuals to switch to cleaner fuel vehicles like CNG powered. These programs effectively reduce the price of buying and using the new CNG vehicle. Chart on the left shows how total natural gas consumption and vehicle use of natural gas increased during the period 2000 to 2022. We can see that both have increased, but the growth rate is higher in natural gas vehicle consumption. Another metric to assess the switch from diesel and gasoline to natural gas is the number of transit buses. The bar chart on the right shows that the number of public buses in the US that are powered by natural gas increased, whereas the number of buses that use diesel decreased between 2007 and 2019. Next, I will discuss the factors that affect supply of natural gas. I start with natural gas inventories. US natural gas working inventory is the primary supply driver. Working gas is the volume of total natural gas storage capacity that contains natural gas available for withdrawal. It helps to meet seasonal as well as sudden increase in demand, which domestic production and imports might not otherwise meet. When demand is low, storage may absorb excess domestic supply. Storage also supports pipeline operations and trading hub services. In natural gas markets, analysts refer to the storage injection season as running from April 1st through October 31st of each year. But these dates are not strict cutoff points. In recent years, injections into storage have often continued into the first half of November. Working natural gas storage typically decreases in November through March when withdrawals from storage increase, mostly to meet increases in natural gas demand for heating. Chart on the left shows an average of weekly U.S. natural gas working inventories by month for the period 2010 to 2023. The inventories are the highest in November, at the end of the injection season. The they get depleted during the winter and start being built up back again in April. Chart on the right shows the monthly U.S. natural gas storage inventories and the Henry Hub spot prices during the period 2010 to 2023. We can see that when gas inventories are significantly lower as compared to other years, the prices increase. An example is colder than normal winter in 2014 that led to record withdrawals of natural gas from storage, leading to low working storage and higher prices in February 2014. When storage inventories are higher, prices are lower. This happened in 2016 when winter was warmer than normal, which led to higher than usual natural gas inventories at the start of an injection season and subsequently lower prices. Most recently, in spring 2022, U.S. natural gas storage inventories were historically low as temperature-related demand increases outpaced production growth. Technological innovation in drilling for natural gas in unconventional reservoirs has driven an increase in natural gas production and subsequently reduced the price of natural gas. The two key technologies that are responsible for this progress are horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing, both of which are not new. Actually, U.S. government spent millions of dollars on research and development for search and profitable extraction of natural gas in unconventional sources starting in the 1970s. In conventional or vertical drilling, wells are drilled straight down into the earth, directly into porous rock formations that hold natural gas. Directional drilling means wells are drilled at non-vertical angles. Now, horizontal drilling is an extension of directional drilling when a well is drilled vertically to a certain depth, and then the drilling path is bent until it extends horizontally. Because horizontal wells are longer and the drilling process is more complex, they are generally more expensive to drill than a vertical well, but are also expected to produce more crude oil and natural gas. Hydraulic fracturing is performed after the oil or natural gas well has been drilled. Like horizontal drilling, this technique has been practiced for many years, but it has only recently become a major part of U.S. production in combination with horizontal drilling. Hydraulic fracturing involves injecting a mix of water, sand, and chemicals into a well to stimulate production from shale formations. One of the first areas to produce shale natural gas commercially was Texas Barnett Shale. The chart on the right shows its monthly shale production starting in 2000. All wells have a limited lifespan, and Barnett's production has been on the decline. Today, Marcellus is the largest shale play. You can see how its production has increased over time. Shale gas production took off in 2007-2008 and has been increasing since then. In 2007, only 8% of natural gas was withdrawn from shale. In 2022, it was 74%. In comparison, conventional gas wells accounted for 61% of all U.S. natural gas gross withdrawals in 2007 and only 14% in 2022. Also, the number of vertical wells has decreased sharply and has been replaced by the horizontal wells. Chart on the right shows the average weekly number of vertical wells decreased from 780 to 69 between December 2000 and December 2016. That's a 10-fold decrease. During the same period, the average weekly number of horizontal wells increased from 60 to 511. The number of total rigs has declined over time because of increased productivity from a well, which basically means more natural gas can be extracted from a single well than before. The last supply factor I will discuss is adverse weather events that damage infrastructure and reduce natural gas production. The majority of natural gas production is concentrated in Texas and Louisiana, two states that frequently get hit with hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricanes can disrupt production of natural gas by flooding and structural damage to the facilities. Lower production will lead to higher prices. Consider Hurricanes Katrina and Rita in 2005 and Gustav and Ike in 2008. The hurricanes of 2005 and 2008 damaged many facilities that extract, process, and transport natural gas. In 2005, Katrina hit the Gulf of Mexico in the end of August, and then Rita hit in September before natural gas production had time to recover. All aspects of the oil and natural gas industries were affected, as there was a substantial damage to the offshore production platforms and pipelines, as well as onshore production wells, pipelines, processing plants, and other infrastructure. Between August and September 2005, natural gas gross withdrawals fell by 22% in Louisiana, by 7% in Texas, leading to an overall decrease of 11% in U.S. total natural gas withdrawals. In 2008, Hurricane Gustav made landfall in Louisiana on September 1st. Less than 2 weeks after, Hurricane Ike made landfall in Galveston, Texas. Between August and September 2008, natural gas gross withdrawals fell by 26% in Louisiana, by 9% in Texas, leading to an overall decrease of 12% in U.S. total natural gas withdrawals. Storm damage to natural gas industry has declined in the recent years due to regional shifts in production facilities and a decline in the U.S. offshore production in Gulf of Mexico. As you can see on the chart on the right, federal offshore dry natural gas production as a share of total U.S. dry natural gas production decreased significantly in the last 2 decades. For example, it represented 17% in 2005, but only 2% in 2022. And this is the end. Thank you for listening and hope you watch my other commodities basics videos.